The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Welcome back on the Domino's post-game report as number 24 Carson-Newman falls to number 2 Queens, 82-66. I'm Adam Cavalier alongside head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson. Chuck, pretty evenly played game, save for about 2 minutes there at the tail end of the first half. Queens used a 13-0 run to turn what was a back-and-forth ball game into a double-digit lead. What happened in that span that turned the tide?
Well, I think one of the things that impacted us was that they found shots in transition. That's something that we had really worked extensively on this week in preparation, and they were effective there on the glass. You know, they got. But I thought a big thing that happened right there, and it's one of those things that happened. Mason Bates was playing really good basketball, and you know we lose him. He's on a fluke. He falls and, dislocates his finger. And, he was a guy who was sort of making some shots there to keep game pressure on him. And I think the combination of his going down at that moment and impacted the rotation a little bit, but then the transition threes, them finding shots, and the offense rebound on their part, I think those three elements sort of impacted us there,
Fall behind by 24 in the second half, but no quit, 14-2 run to get it down to around 11 late before Queens sets the final margin at 16. Your two star shooters, though, not their typical selves. Charles Clark and Malik Abraham combined to go 6 of 26 from the field. What did Queens do to bother them to that?
Malik had an off night. That was all there is to it. It was obvious that they were not using the same strategy on him that they were using on Charles. He just wanted to make shots tonight, and that happens sometimes. But as we told him, shoot the next one. We don't ever want him to stop. But the problem was the way they defended Charles, and the truth is he had fast, quick guys that denied and face guarded him more or less the entire game. And he had a hard time getting separation. He had a hard time getting looks. We tried a couple different things to get him some separation. It wasn't as effective, especially after you saw the guy. He got hurt himself there and sort of toughed it out the entire second half with an ankle sprain, and that didn't help. But the truth of the matter is they had a great strategy. I got to give credit to the coaching staff at Queens and to the players for executing. Because they came in here and realized that that they needed to try to control him as best they could, and they did an elite job on that. So credit to them.
You look at what the Royals did, very balanced effort. Jalen Alexander had 9 of his 14 in that little 13-0 run, but didn't score at all in the second half. What do you say about what the Royals did in terms of their balance?
Well, that's just it. They've got balance. They got multiple guys that can make shots, multiple guys that can make plays. As crazy as it sounds, I was really sort of pleased on multiple levels with some things I saw today from us defensively, because they are a hard team to defend. Because they have just so many weapons. But I felt like I thought we defended them better today than we did earlier this year, for sure. And you saw, especially their second half, some of the
shot making was off the charts.
That went in was just crazy. But those things happen. And I think at this point we've got to make sure we take some things away from this game and hope that we can learn, because I have a distinct feeling that we'll probably play them again down the road.
This really is kind of a weird game. A lot of the hallmarks or the markers for wins were there. You out-rebounded a team that was plus 10 on the glass coming in.
I was very proud of that. And we made a big deal to our guys about that, and we did it.
Score more points in the paint, more second chance points, more points on the break. A lot of things that typically if you do that, you can lock up a win. What made the difference there when you did some things that normally are good indicators that Carson-Newman's going to have a successful night?
There are two things that have become very clear, okay? You have two teams in this league, Lincoln Memorial and Queens, that from a talent standpoint are as good as you can be at this level. But even more importantly, from a schematic standpoint, they are both elite defensively. Elite. We're good defensively. And if you look at the numbers, I mean, we're right there in the top 3 more or less in every defense category. But there is a major separation between those 2 and 3rd. So just in terms of the defensive scheme, and they make it very, very hard. They've got athleticism in every spot. They've got speed and quickness advantage at more or less every spot. They're tough. They're physical. They play without fouling. They're physical and play without fouling, which is a huge deal. And they scheme it up. One other thing I would say about them, Cav, we got 7 seniors.
Yeah.
So they're a veteran squad that has seen it all, and they know how to win basketball games. So you can't take away the significance of that.
You and I were talking earlier, about how this probably jinxed it. Queens doesn't really have a rim protector in the vein of an Emmanuel Terry at Lincoln Memorial.
Right.
Well, Louis Diankulu, 7 block shots tonight. And you talk about their ability to defend without fouling. I mean, 12 blocks, that's the most a team has had against a Chuck Benson coached Carson-Newman team. What did they do to swat? It wasn't but a lot of deflections. Wasn't a lot of clean swats, but a lot of active hands in there.
Well, our guys did what we asked, and that was to really get a north-south attack, get going towards the basket, And so that, excuse me, that's something we wanted to be able to do, and we did it. But credit to them. I mean, they had, again, great defense at the rim, and were able to contest shots and make us adjust shots. And, that you can control what you can control, and sometimes you can't control the other guys. And hey, buddy. And we couldn't control some of that stuff, man. They made plays and got there and caused problems.
Biggest takeaway from this is you turn your attention now to the Tusculum Pioneers for a Valentine's Day showdown.
Well, we got to flush this from our mind immediately. As I told them, what we've got to do now is to get healthy. We got some guys beat up and banged up. A couple of really, really good players for us beat up and banged up. So we'll use tomorrow and Monday to try to get healthy. That Tusculum game's a rivalry game. We've played, probably in the last 4 years, we've played better in Greenville against them than we've played here.
Mm-hmm.
And when their backs are up against the wall, so they're going to come in here trying to play themselves into the tournament. So we've got to bounce back from this. And one thing I'll say about our team this year, we've not lost back-to-back.
Yeah.
So we've had sort of a refocused approach when we have lost games, and have turned around and performed well enough to get wins. So I've got confidence in our guys that they don't like the way this feels. And I think when we come in here Wednesday night, we'll be ready to perform.
Chuck, pleasure as always. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Kev.
That's Carson-Newman head men's basketball coach Chuck Benson.